basketball team one of three games in the Cancun Challenge last week to improve to 6-1 on the season. The Boilermakers knocking off Harvard and Oklahoma State, suffering a 1-point loss to Florida State. Purdue returns home on Wednesday night to take part in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. It'll be the Boilermakers and the Syracuse Orange, tipping off at 6 o'clock in Mackey Arena. And then Purdue heads to the road next Monday night to take on the Michigan State Spartans in the Big Ten opener. That one will be at the Breslin Center. Good evening, everybody, from Walk-Ons in West Lafayette and the Purdue Memorial Union. It is the Katie Gearlds Show. We'll talk Boilermaker basketball with the head coach until the top of the hour. You can follow along tonight. We're on Facebook on the Purdue Athletics site. You can let us know where you're watching from, and if you have any questions for Katie, go ahead and give those to us. Jalen Nice, our graduate assistant, will be joining us a little bit later on in the program as well. We'll have the head coach when we come back. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Waiting back inside, Harper trying to find some room, switches to the left, and a nice finish off the glass. Turner throws it right into the hands of her opposite. Janae Terry takes it up the front court and an easy bucket for the Bulls. This is a big 3.5 minutes to end this first half. Purdue really feeling it right now. Learned with the basket, unselfish look from Harper. Outscoring Purdue, 17-13 in the third. A good ball movement here. Ellis drives in, a nice finish and the foul. That one a big block on one end. Kicks out, Smith for three. Banks it in as the third quarter comes to a close.
The cherry on top.
May not be enough time for the Crimson. A great look underneath. Terry with the basket, the assist from Caitlin Harper.
And Terry flexes on him, shows the muscle, shows how strong she is. Absorbing the contact. And one, here it is, a nice dump down. Draws that left shoulder just enough for the foul.
Rodriguez looking to go inside. Sutter drives, and it hits the reverse.
And Purdue.
Off the screen, Petrie. Or Terry, beg your pardon. Smooth-looking jumper. Three-pointer right down the chute there for Madison Layden.
And it's up strong.
Gordon lost the handle. Turnover, Florida State, 3-on-1, Purdue. Petrie off the glass.
Ooh.
Can't connect on the pass. Terry, Layden, got it. Another Purdue triple.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. Purdue Global is Purdue's accredited and affordable online solution for working adults. Persistence pays off at Purdue Global. We're joined by the head coach, coming back, checking to see a little bit tanned.
Not me.
A little bit?
Not
Maybe
me.
A little bit.
Maybe from walking outside in
there
the
you
cold,
go.
But not me.
Well, tell us overall, before we get into the nuts and bolts, the overall experience, not just basketball-wise, but being able to spend a lot of time with your basketball team down in Mexico the last few days.
Yeah, good. Good days with our group. Obviously going 2-1 wasn't. We wanted to go 3-0, but 2-1 is better than 1-2, so we'll take that. They got a lot of downtime after some games. Their ability to refocus after we played Harvard, on to Florida State, after we lost to Florida State, and on to Oklahoma State, I thought was really, really good. Showed some maturity in our ball club. But let's see, first day down, we swam with some dolphins. Then we had a game. Had Thanksgiving meal together. Pretty cool experience. Obviously, the weather was beautiful. It was 85 degrees most days. You open your patio door, and there's the water, so can't complain.
Let's talk then about the basketball, and we'll start with the Harvard game on Thanksgiving Day. You win that one 85-63, and it was really the second quarter that blew it open, 27-8 in the second. What did you get going on both ends of that to let you get out to that big lead?
I thought we started the game really well and kind of jumped on them and then foot off the gas. They kind of crawled back into it in the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, just defensively, we were in a stance. We were guarded the way we were supposed to guard and allowed us to get out in transition. And you know, get some easy buckets in transition. Didn't really have to play in the half court against those guys there in the second quarter. And, you know, credit our group because we guarded our butts off and we finished plays with rebounds and got out in the open floor.
You also got 23 points from Laisha Petrie and shot the ball 61%. I noticed 22 assists. High assists usually leads to high field goal percentage.
Yeah, usually you're making baskets. And, you know, I think when we move the ball and share the ball and make extra passes, you know, you got to like that. And that's the number we shoot for. We like to try to double up our assists to turnovers. It doesn't always happen, but there's a number we shoot for, and the ball moved, and we knocked down shots.
I heard you in the postgame show talk about the fact that Harvard likes to try to create chaos, and they were able to do that for parts of 3 different quarters. What were they doing, and how were you able to effectively counteract that in the second quarter when you had success?
Yeah, I thought we finished plays really well on the defensive end. A lot of long shots. Over half their shots were 3, so the rims were really hard, so a lot of long bounces off the rims. I thought we did a good job of checking and making sure we chased down long rebounds, and then got able to get some paint touches in transition. Laisha was really good in the open floor, and I think we knocked down a couple shots. But for the most part, the ball moved, and we finished plays on the defensive end. And if we do that, then you know, we'll give ourselves a chance most days.
I know going to the Big Ten tournament for several years, it's all about rest and recovery for the players in between, but the coaches don't get a lot of sleep because as soon as that game's over, you've already done some prep for the second and third game. I mean, just a little bit, but how do you get from one to the next in a turnaround of less than 24 hours?
Yeah, I mean, credit Alex, Michael, and Beth for really grinding and working. They had done a lot of prep stuff, so most everything was done for me to kind of look at, because you know me, I won't do it until the game is over. So, like, I didn't look at Florida State until 4 o'clock. I didn't look at Oklahoma State until 4 o'clock after our game, and that's just kind of how I'm wired. But they had everything done that was supposed to be done, and thought we put good game plans together for both of those Florida State and Oklahoma State. But what was really, really cool is to kind of see our team understand what we were trying to do in a short amount of time, and for the most part, I thought we executed pretty well.
Florida State, a 76-75 loss, probably a frustrating game, not because you lost it necessarily, although that's the biggest frustration, but the fact that you led most of the game and just a few bad minutes in the fourth quarter, and it looked like they hurt you on the offensive glass in those final 10 minutes.
Yeah, and we had been doing a really good job of keeping them off the glass. They had a kid, number 21. I mean, this kid was grabbing rebounds off the rim, it seemed like sometimes. But her want was just a little bit down the stretch, and you know, we don't go zone, and we zoned a little bit there, and it was doing what it was supposed to be doing. They were taking outside shots, and they were driving and throwing up stuff, and we just couldn't find a way to finish. It's like every bounce kind of bounced the way Florida State would, and you know, you got to create your own destiny there. But Florida State losing the day before, I thought they just played a little bit more desperate than we did. Felt like they played like their season was on the line, and that's a growing experience for us. You know, not just for our kids, like for us as a staff as well. And when we met after the Florida State game, I think we came back about 8 or 8:30 to watch film for Oklahoma State. I mean, you know, I raised my hand, like I needed to do better, they needed to do better, and we all made a promise to each other that we would find a way to finish those games a little bit differently.
All right, we'll talk about the final game on the trip and more on the Cancun Challenge when we come back. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Big deal. Where can you get pizza, bread twists, specialty chicken, and more for just $5.99?
Oh my God, did you guys have a great time?
Yes, sir!
Yeah! How was it?
Honestly, I wanted to stay in there with the Dolphins for a long time. And I just wanted to give him a hug, but I couldn't give him a hug.
Aww.
It was fun.
How was it? Did you have a good time?
It was amazing.
So, did you have a great time?
Yes, sir!
Did you have a great time? Lily and
yes,
I know.
Really fun.
48% from the field, misses quite a few early.
And Purdue able to take advantage. Jayless with the rebound. Purdue needs to get something going here. Petrie takes it herself and finishes. Front court has Petrie with her. Petrie to the cup. And the Boilermakers are on top.
Petrie in transition, you can hear.
Game. Back and forth we go. Underneath to Learn. Finishes.
This time, Learn will give Terry.
Off the screen, Petrie. Or Terry, beg your pardon. Smooth-looking jumper. Three-pointer right down the chute there from Madison Layden.
And it's up strong.
Gordon lost the handle. Turnover, Florida State, 3-on-1, Purdue. Petrie off the glass.
Ooh.
Can't connect on the pass. Terry, Layden, got it. Another Purdue triple.
Playing time, so before a Purdue basketball game or any time throughout the week, stop by Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. We'll be back here next Tuesday night. We won't be here Monday night for the coach shows because we'll be up in East Lansing playing basketball. Big Ten opener next Monday night against the Spartans, but we'll be back on Tuesday, and then we'll be back to Mondays after that. All right, so you're 1-1. Coming off a disappointing loss against Florida State. You got to turn right around and play Oklahoma State, and that's a game they led in the fourth quarter, and you came back and won it at the end.
Yeah, knew it was going to be a grinder. They had beaten Florida State the first day in a game, so knew it was going to be a grinder. New coach, I thought she did a really good job of getting her group in some good opportunities to be successful. Came back 8 or 8:30 for film. Walked over their player personnel. We watched everything that night, and then the next morning, instead of coming in to take an early shoot around, we just brought them over to near the water, walked through some plays. Kind of wasn't quite the beach, but close enough because we could see it there. And I thought our focus in the morning was really good. I just told them, like, hey, let's all be upset tonight, but as soon as we wake up in the morning, our focus has got to flip, and now it's got to be Oklahoma State. So kind of a up and down roller coaster. I think both teams were just dog tired playing our third game this in a row this early in the season, and made enough plays down the stretch. I think they missed some shots that that they probably would have wanted to come back to them, but Ava gave us a little spark and kind of was able to slash and get some baskets and knock down free throws, but made enough plays down the stretch, and I thought our group just kind of rallied together.
Usually when you play a tournament, and we've seen it year after year in the Big Ten tournament, especially as you get later in the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, it is a bench player that comes in and makes the difference because they tend to be fresher. Ava Learn had a huge game for you, 12 points, 4 rebounds, and you look at the fourth quarter's play-by-play, and it's Ava Learn. She did a little bit of everything for you.
Yeah, she impacted the game on a huge level for us against Oklahoma State, and Caitlin had a rough go of it. Was a true pro over there. Obviously, her playing 3 games in 3 days with I don't know if she's done that in a while since she blew her knee out a couple years ago. But I just thought Ava's athleticism and getting off ball screens kind of gave us some open opportunities. She crashed. We still tell her, you got to keep learning the other side of the ball. And when she does that, her minutes are just going to keep going up and up and up. But obviously, we don't win the game without Ava. And it was really cool to see our group rally around her while the fourth quarter was happening. And then after the game, it was just really, really cool.
What were the conditions like? And we're going to talk about conditions not being good at other tournaments, but you're playing down at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to lead into that with a question. John from Littlestown, Pennsylvania wants to know why Madison was not wearing her sports goggles in Cancun. Because it does go together.
Yeah, it does go together. The venue was actually really, really well put together. The only thing that was a little bit frustrating, the practice floor, when the air conditioning went off, the humidity would make the floor slippery. So we weren't really able to have any practice time. So that's why we stayed outside the last shoot around. Yeah. But on the main floor, everything was okay. It got a little slippery with the humidity, but from my understanding, Mad's glasses were just kind of fogging up or sliding off on and off her face. She started with them against Harvard, but had to take them off, and just they were fogging up and sliding the humidity in the arena. But honestly, first class event. The people were great. The people in Mexico, the workers, the people who ran the tournament, really treated us probably better than we deserved. So all in all, a really good experience.
I mentioned that, and I ask about that because if you have been reading the news here the last couple of days, Indiana and Auburn and other schools played in a tournament at the Mirage in Las Vegas. They did not have a similarly good experience. So they actually, it looked like, put down at the last minute a gym floor in a ballroom and put no seating. They had no bleachers. So it's like we are at walk-ons here with no tables. You just bring your chair, sit it by courtside. And the other problem, they did not have an EMT on site, and one of the Auburn players was hurt, and there was an hour-long delay in the middle of the game. That's really unacceptable.
Yeah, you know, and as where our game is and what the steps we're trying to take to grow our game, like you just said, it is unacceptable. I mean, Indiana's a top 5 team. Mm-hmm. I mean, forget that. We're playing Division I college basketball, and there's no chairs to sit in. I think they were bringing hand towels from their room for the players.
Bring your own towels.
Bring your own towels to a game. I'm frustrating. I know I know Terry said the floor itself was okay and safe, but 40 minutes for an Auburn kid to be lying on the floor is that's scary. And I know we are set to go to Vegas.
Another reason I brought that up.
Yeah, and staying at the Mirage. We are not playing at the Mirage, and if we are now, then I don't know. But we are scheduled to play off the Strip. And from what we hear, maybe it's the same thing that Indiana was hearing too.
I believe it's a South Point Casinos where we're playing, and actually they have it's mostly used for rodeo, but it is a structure that has permanent seating, and they do have facilities. So it is something that's built for an event.
Right. We've done our due diligence and looked into it, and I think Jess is looking into making sure there's EMTs on site. So just a scary situation for all of us, and honestly, as our game, like we're trying to grow our game, that is completely unacceptable.
Pack your towels just in case we go to Vegas. All right, we're going to have more on the Katie Gearlds Show presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network, and this is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
Getting your degree online as a working adult doesn't mean you have to sacrifice a high quality.
That's where he was in the bucket game last year. Lockaby makes a cut inside the 15-yard line. 55 yards in the ground so far for Purdue after a gain of 3. O'Connell looking left, throws. There's Charlie Jones in space. Charlie Jones is free. Charlie Jones across midfield and tripped up inside the 40. 95 receptions this season, has 2 tonight. O'Connell to Durham. Goal line, power, touchdown Purdue. And the Boilermakers have the lead. The linebacker. Lockaby left side. Makes a cut inside the 10. Another cut, touchdown Purdue. Lockaby, crazy legs on display. First down. Lockaby picks up the blitz. O'Connell time. Jones wide open. Inside the 10. Touchdown Purdue. Once again, to his buddy from the Chicago suburbs, Charlie Jones. That pairing does it again this time.
Taking some hits. You start letting the ball go a little too soon.
3rd and 10. Purdue brings 4, and they're going to get home. A sack near the 1. Going for it. Bazelak rolling in his own end zone. Trying to keep the play alive, and now throws. That's caught nowhere near the line to gain by Bennett. And he has the ball ripped away by Corey Trice, and it's a touchdown for Purdue. Any chance to keep this possession alive, and Corey Trice just stole that ball away from Hope Bennett.
Graham tipped it. Wow, let's watch it from here. There's the catch. Oh no, this is a fumble. He had controlled it. Then there's the tip drill, and then he just pulled it out of his hands, and it's 6 quick.
Walk-ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. Lafayette Limo, family-owned, women-owned, serving Greater Lafayette for over 33 years. Shuttles to and from Indianapolis and O'Hare airports 365 days a year. Make your reservations now at LafayetteLimo.com. Lafayette Limo, proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics. Going to Facebook, Ira was checking in from Wisconsin as always, says good showing in Cancun. Sheila says, boiler up from Remington. She thought my replacement did a great job. I would agree, Brian Jennings, and I thank him for filling. He does. I will say, Brian's got the greatest gig in the world, because now that football goes to Thanksgiving weekend, I can't travel with you in all these holiday tournaments. So Brian's always asking, hey, where are we going this year? Where are we going this year?
Brian's funny. He does a good job.
We mentioned John from Littlestown, Peggy from St. Louis, and Brianne said, missed your commentating. Well, thank you, Brianne, and we're glad everybody's back. Speaking of where I was in football, let's give a little love to Jeff Brom and the Boilermakers for winning the Big Ten West Division on Saturday. And they'll take on the Michigan Wolverines. Did you get the chance to see any of it on Saturday?
As soon as our game was over, pretty much it was starting. So by the time I got back to my room, I kind of was watching and streaming it on my. And I'll be honest, I needed to get sunscreen on and get to a pool.
I understand.
But the phone was there, and we were following the game as it going and pretty much celebrating. What a finish. And honestly, all of our prayers are with Aiden
Yep.
and his family, and what he was able to do to just with God's strength to kind of rise above and play for Purdue and honor his brother like that is it's unbelievable. And I'm not surprised at all, because if you talk to Aiden O'Connell, that's exactly who
Yep.
he is.
And I think most people understand or have heard that Sean O'Connell, Aiden's older brother, passed away unexpectedly last week, and Aiden decided to play the football game. And actually, he's off campus right now with his family, which is where he should be. And we look forward to seeing him back on the field Saturday. But an incredible performance by him. And it's always great to look down in Bloomington and see all those red-shirted people leave the stadium. It was Ross-Ade South there at the end of the game.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
We have a lot of those Arrowhead Wests out there.
I understand.
But no, anytime you can go down there and beat those guys, I mean, massive win for Jeff and the boys, and looking forward to what they can do on Saturday.
And it was quite a weekend for Purdue athletics in general. I mean, the performance that Matt Painter and his team put on in Portland, I don't know if I've ever seen 3 back-to-back-to-back games better than that.
Yeah, those guys are balling, and the confidence and the kind of the swag those young guys play with it's really, really fun to watch. I think Braden and Fletcher have such a moxie about them. They just know they're tough, and they know they're going to win. I think Fletcher's comment after the game was I'm not surprised we're winners. And that just those are Matt's kind of guys. That's who Paint recruits, and the ball moves beautifully. They defend, they compete, and man, really, really fun to watch.
And lastly, congratulations again to Dave Shondell and the volleyball crew. They're going back to the NCAA tournament again. I think they're a little underseeded at number 8 in their region, but he talked to Dave today. He said they're ready to go down to Louisville and compete. Tennessee in the first round, a team they've beaten earlier this year. But then if they get past that, probably the Cardinals in the second round.
Yeah, I think they played Louisville earlier in the year, too.
They did.
Maybe they lost in 4.
Well, they lost.
Was it 4?
Or 3.
3.
Yeah.
But I felt
the
like
third one was really
all of them
close.
were really close.
Yeah.
And I know Louisville's tough. Obviously, want to take care of Tennessee. And I know us Boilermakers, we like to beat the Volunteers a little bit.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I just Dave's season with a young group that has come along, and kind of like March in basketball, right? This time of the year, anything can happen.
And the reason we're talking about this is, we've talked all the time about the fact that these sports kind of grow upon each other. Everybody builds off the momentum, and well, you got to really feel like that gold and black momentum is growing right now, and hopefully you can get on top of the wave here for a few weeks.
Yeah, we hope to keep continuing the trend. I think I told somebody that we're just trying to keep up with everybody else around here. We don't want to be the bottom of the totem pole. We want to make sure we're carrying our own weight here.
All right, we'll give the coach a break. When we come back, it'll be graduate assistant Jalen Nice joining us. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network. And this is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.
Another season of...
Layden back inside Harper, trying to find some room, switches to the left, and a nice finish off the glass. Turner throws it right into the hands of her opposite. Janae Terry takes it up the front court, and an easy bucket for the boys. This is a big 3.5 minutes to end this first half. Purdue really feeling it right now. Learned with the basket. Unselfish look from Harper. Outscoring Purdue 17-13 in the third. Good ball movement here. Ellis drives in. A nice finish and the foul. That one a big block on one end. Kicks out. Smith for three. Banks it in as the third quarter comes to a close.
The cherry on top.
May not be enough time for the Crimson. A great look underneath. Terry with the basket, the assist from Caitlin Harper.
And Terry flexes on him, shows the muscle, shows how strong she is. Absorbing the contact and one. Here it is, a nice dump down. Draws that left shoulder just enough for the foul.
Rodriguez looking to go inside. Sutter drives and it hits the reverse.
And Purdue.
Off the screen, Petrie. Or Terry, beg your pardon. Smooth looking jumper. Three-pointer right down the chute there for Madison Layden.
And it's go up strong.
Gordon lost the handle. Turnover, Florida State, 3-on-1, Purdue. Petrie off the glass.
Ooh.
Can't connect on the pass. Terry, Layden, got it. Another Purdue triple.
Listening to the Katie Gearlds Show on 95.3 Bob FM.
It's time for the Pro Boilers feature, where we look at how former Purdue student athletes are doing in their professional sports careers. Pro Boilers is presented by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at indianakitchen.com. Both our Pro Boilers and Indiana Kitchen are boiler-made. Only two players to report on this week. Andriana Keys playing in Poland for Polonia Warsaw. Her team won 79-72 to improve to 3-4 in the season. They snapped a 4-game losing streak, and Keys had 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists in that one. Aya Traore playing in Spain for Sant Josep. They lost 68-47 to drop to 5-4 in the season. Aya had 18 points and 7 rebounds. My favorite part of this, these statistics and all this information comes to us from an organization called Eurobasket. And anytime one of our players or teams loses or the player doesn't play well, they always put in a quote to make sure that we don't feel bad about it. So this is the exact quote. But this is still an early stage of the season, and everything may happen. So that's going to be our mantra from here on in. No matter what happens for the Boilermakers, everything may happen. And we're going to happen to turn it over now to Jalen Nice, who is our graduate assistant with the women's basketball program. Graduate of Salem High School.
Yes, sir.
Tennis standout.
You say that.
Well, 3-time all-conference. That qualifies as standout status.
I appreciate it.
And also a basketball player, where, by the way, he shot 48% from three-point range, one of the top three-point shooters in the state. Played 1 year at Anderson and then decided to come here. What was the decision to decide to come here and get involved with the women's basketball program?
I kind of got a little burnt out at Anderson for a minute. And then I wanted to go into pharmaceutical research coming out of high school, and I thought Purdue was a great place to get a great education and get some research experience. So just wanted to make a change and kind of get a little further from home, kind of find myself outside of basketball. And then I met a friend of a friend who was on the practice squad, and he invited me over. And that's kind of how I got involved with women's basketball.
So you graduated in 2021 from Purdue with a degree in biochemistry, and now you're back in basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of funny how life works out.
It is funny how life works out, but you got to do what you like to do.
Yeah.
So is this the path now going forward? Is the basketball path, or is it still up in the air where you're going to go?
You know, I really love the game. I think it grows your mind, your character, your soul. I love being around it. I love working the girls out every day. I love being around some of the practice guys who are back here. You know, it's a great group. I don't think there's anything better than being part of a team and working towards finding one goal and working towards it. And so right now, the basketball is kind of my focus. I still have the biochem on the back burner. I got a LinkedIn account, got a few notifications I need to take care of. But I really would love to stay around the game and keep ministering to people that way.
So this is your second year as a grad assistant, which I think is the last year, right? Correct.
Yes, sir.
And so that's how this works. And then you've got to make a decision and try to get some things done there. And you said you've had some pings on LinkedIn. Are they from the basketball world, the biochem world, or both?
The biochem world mainly. I haven't updated it in a little bit, so they don't know I'm a grad assistant here. But no, there's just some research opportunities. But no, I'll be working on building my resume for both. And if I get a really good basketball look, I'm going to take it and keep pursuing that.
What does a graduate assistant do in a basketball program?
Anything the coaches need them to.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I'm a little bit everywhere. Whether it's watching film, doing workouts. I ran a lot of workouts this summer through the fall. I think in the fall, I was running five or six a day, which is a lot of fun. I love helping the girls and giving them a skill, working on it. Coach Gearlds will talk to me about what she thinks everybody needs to do, and then we'll kind of talk about what the plan looks like for those 30 to 45 minutes that I have them. Sometimes the girls will text me and it'll be in the morning, they're like, hey, can we get one in? I was like, yeah, for sure. So I do that, and then I'll help game plan a little bit just with some film, help clip stuff. I work with Coach Scruggs on offense quite a bit, and we put together kind of clips and try to find their calls, and then we can communicate that to our team.
And I've seen you do a lot of stuff, it looks like, on inbounds plays to try to get some strategy going on those.
Yeah, that was my role last year, was looking at their inbounds plays and kind of communicating that to the coaches about what their calls were, how their setups were. Mainly I'm working on the offensive stuff right now, just their offensive sets, and Coach Guyton takes over the out-of-bounds stuff this year. But, yeah, I'm everywhere, just a little bit of everything.
All right, we're talking with graduate assistant Jalen Nice. We'll have more after this break. It is the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network. This is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
Hi, Katie Gearlds here, head women's basketball.
Layden back inside Harper, trying to find some room, switches to the left, and a nice finish off the glass. Turner throws it right into the hands of her opposite. Janae Terry takes it up the front court, and an easy bucket for the. This is a big 3.5 minutes to end this first half. Purdue really feeling it right now. Learned with the basket, unselfish look from Harper. Outscoring Purdue 17-13 in the third. Good ball movement here. Ellis drives in, a nice finish and the foul. That one a big block on one end. Kicks out. Smith for three. Banks it in as the third quarter comes to a close.
The cherry on top.
May not be enough time for the Crimson. A great look underneath. Terry with the basket, the assist from Caitlin Harper.
And Terry flexes on him, shows the muscle, shows how strong she is. Absorbing the contact, and one, here it is, a nice dump down. Draws that left shoulder just enough for the foul.
Rodriguez looking to go inside. Sutter drives, and it hits the reverse.
And Purdue.
Off the screen, Petrie. Or Terry, beg your pardon. Smooth-looking jumper. Three-pointer right down the chute there from Madison Layden.
And it's up strong.
Gordon lost the handle. Turnover, Florida State, 3-on-1, Purdue. Petrie off the glass.
Ooh.
Can't connect on the pass. Terry, Layden, got it. Another Purdue triple.
Welcome back to the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. And everyone needs a little playing time, so before a Purdue basketball game or any time throughout the week, stop by Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. We're joined by Jalen Nice, grad assistant with the women's basketball program. What was it like to swim with the Dolphins last week?
I was pretty nervous, not going to lie to you. The lady.
The friendly, nice Dolphins frighten you a little bit?
Well, yeah, wild animals, you never know when they can turn on you.
That'd be a story. A dolphin bites man. You hang on and just kind of go along for the ride with them? Is that how that works?
Yeah, it's kind of like riding a horse. I've never rode a horse before, but I think it's probably pretty similar. You hold on and just let it take you.
The Boilermakers are going to take on Syracuse on Wednesday night in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Daisha Fair is their leading scorer. Now, she comes in from Buffalo. Felicia Leggett-Jack was the head coach at Buffalo. She's now the head coach at Syracuse. You told me that you were her on the scout team when they played here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, my senior year, they handed me the number 2 jersey and told me just
shoot the ball.
Yeah, do what I want with it. Yeah, but no, that was a lot of fun. Just being a practice guy and getting to have some of those scouts my senior year with girls like her who can really shoot the ball, really score the ball, and play make. It's kind of like Caitlin Clark, kind of what it felt like. So it was cool that they trusted me with that, and I just kind of tried to do the best job to prepare them the best I could.
You were here last year for Katie's first year, here in year 2. Talk about the improvement. What have you seen this team get better at in the last 12 months?
I think guarding the basketball is something that's still work in progress, but I think we're taking a little more pride and having a little more attention to detail with that. Sharing the ball, too. I think the ball's starting to move a little bit on the perimeter, finding shooters, and moving off-ball movement's going to be pretty key. With Caitlin Harper down there being as good as she is and being the great scorer she is, we have to continue to give her opportunities to work down there. And I think just overall communication. In previous years, our team really hasn't talked that much on the floor as far as with one another, and now people are starting to understand our philosophies. We're starting to be able to pick each other up with that, and so we're just really not having to repeat ourselves in practice. That's the main thing. You make a mistake once, it's over with, and you prove them all.
I asked about what your duties were, and you said whatever the coach wants, but specifically on game day, what will you be doing while you're on the bench?
So I keep track of fouls, for both teams, team fouls. I let Coach Gearlds know when we're in the bonus. Last year we had I had a couple miscommunications. She'll ask me how many fouls we got, and I'll say 3. She goes, do we have 3 fouls or 3 to give? And I love it when we have 2 because it's 2 to give, and we have 2. But,
yeah, there you go.
So I'll keep track of that, keep track of timeouts. I'll keep track of, Coach Guyton and I keep track of, who's kind of been missing free throws, and if it's a close game, late game, we kind of talk about who we want to foul. I look at, kind of what they run and what they score off of and try to communicate that to Coach Kuchar. She sits to my right, so I try to tell her kind of what I see and see if, whatever goes on.
Let me go back then last to this career fork in the road. If you said you might have research opportunities on the biochem side. If you stay in basketball, is it coaching? Is it administrating? Is it where would you want your future to be in basketball?
I would really like to be a coach. I think, again, just helping people get to where they want to go through the game. And for me, it's bigger than just wins and losses. I love being able to invest in somebody and, even after workouts, just kind of getting to know people and where they're at in life. And sometimes people just need someone to listen to. And I love just being an ear to listen to them and maybe not even give advice, but just kind of know that I'm in their corner and supporting them through tough times and stuff like that. I think I've been really blessed to have a lot of good coaches in my life that have invested in me. And so I think taking this position and kind of hoping for the future that I can give back in some way, no matter the level, is really important to me in that sense.
All right, all you basketball programs watching and listening, hire this guy after the season. He's going to help Purdue get a few more wins, and then he's going to help your staff win a lot too. Jalen, thanks for coming on, and good luck this season.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
All right, we'll have the head coach back. It's the Katie Gearlds Show, presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network. This is Boilermaker Basketball from Learfield.
We Boilermakers show up in a number of ways.
Layden back inside Harper. Trying to find some room. Switches to the left and a nice finish off the glass. Turner throws it right into the hands of her opposite. Janae Terry takes it up the front court and an easy bucket for the Bulls. This is a big 3.5 minutes to end this first half. Purdue really feeling it right now. Learned with the basket. Unselfish look from Harper. Outscoring Purdue 17-13 in the third. Good ball movement here. Ellis drives in. A nice finish and the foul. That one a big block on one end. Kicks out. Smith for 3. Banks it in as the third quarter comes to a close.
The cherry on top.
May not be enough time for the Crimson. A great look underneath. Terry with the basket. The assist from Caitlin Harper.
And Terry flexes on him, shows the muscle, shows how strong she is. Absorbing the contact. And one, here it is, a nice dump down. Draws that left shoulder just enough for the foul.
Rodriguez looking to go inside. Sutter drives, and it hits the reverse.
And Purdue.
Off the screen, Petrie. Or Terry, beg your pardon. Smooth-looking jumper. Three-pointer right down the chute there from Madison Layden.
And it's up strong.
Gordon lost the handle. Turnover, Florida State, 3-on-1, Purdue. Petrie off the glass.
Ooh.
Can't connect on the pass. Terry, Layden, got it. Another Purdue triple.
FM.
Back with the head coach at Walk-Ons. We've got a lot of stuff coming up here on the Learfield Network the next few days. Women's basketball Wednesday night will be on at 5:45 on Bob FM as the Boilermakers take on Syracuse. That night the men play down in Tallahassee. They play Florida State in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Saturday night football, 8 o'clock kickoff, a little after 8 at Lucas Oil Stadium. Our coverage is going to start at 6 o'clock with Boilermaker Sports Wrap. We'll have the pregame on at 7. And also, we'll have a Facebook Live segment. We're not sure at this point if it's going to start at 6 or 6:30, but we'll be on before the game, and we'll let you know on that. Then men's basketball plays Sunday at 5 o'clock at home against Minnesota. The women play on Monday night at Michigan State, and then we'll be back here at Walk-Ons for both Matt Painter and Katie Gearlds Show, and we'll have a quiz on all that later. We had Jalen Nice on just a couple of minutes ago, and he does a lot for your program. And Jane Schott, who sits next to me and does color commentary, said the first time she watched him on the sideline, she took her headset off. This guy knows what he's talking about.
He absolutely knows exactly what he's talking about, and he just works at it. And you talk about a young man that refuses to leave the office until I do. Even if I'm, I kicking him out, he will not leave until I leave. And he knows it. I mean, he studies the film. The girls really trust who he is and what he's teaching them, and like skill development stuff. But just him as a man, he's really, really well put together. I mean, his family should be awfully proud. I'm proud to work with him. He's a great young man.
We should also send along our congratulations. Over the weekend, it was announced that Carolyn Peck is going to be inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Carolyn winning a national championship at Purdue in 1999. Lindsay Whalen, one of your coaching counterparts at Minnesota, is also going in. And Lisa Mattingly, a longtime official who worked the Final Fours that Purdue played in 1999 and 2001. They're 3 of the 5 people going in. Great to see Carolyn get on the stage and, again, draw some attention to the Purdue program.
Yeah, I mean, we all look at what Coach Peck has done throughout her career, but especially for Purdue and how she did it. It's a really, really cool honor for her, but lucky to kind of ride her coattails for a minute.
Well, I don't think you've ridden her coattails. I think you're putting your own coat on. And you talked about Jalen a few minutes ago. I think this is a kind of a week where you've got those 3 games in 3 days that you really have to depend on your coaching staff and the people around you, because it's something you can't do by yourself in big-time basketball the way it is now.
Yeah, and Jalen does a really good job of, when he watches tapes, trying to get other teams' play calls. I think, honestly, he knew every single one of Florida State's play calls. It's fun to kind of, when they call it out, for him to kind of, tell me what they're going to do, because he's not allowed to communicate to the girls, but he can communicate to us coaches during the game. So he's done a really good job of just studying the game and helping our basketball club.
All right, the Boilermakers do have a couple of pretty important games coming up this week. We're going to talk about those on our final segment of the Katie Gearlds Show. It's presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union on the Purdue Global Sports Network. And this is Boilermaker basketball from Learfield.
Hi, Katie Gearlds here.
Layden back inside Harper, trying to find some room, switches to the left, and a nice finish off the glass. Turner throws it right into the hands of her opposite. Janae Terry takes it up the front court, and an easy bucket for the. This is a big 3.5 minutes to end this first half. Purdue really feeling it right now. Learned with the basket, unselfish look from Harper. Outscoring Purdue 17-13 in the third. Good ball movement here. Ellis drives in, a nice finish and the foul. That one a big block on one end. Kicks out. Smith for 3. Banks it in as the third quarter comes to a close.
The cherry on top.
May not be enough time for the Crimson. A great look underneath. Terry with the basket, the assist from Caitlin Harper.
And Terry flexes on him, shows the muscle, shows how strong she is. Absorbing the contact. And 1, here it is, a nice dump down. Draws that left shoulder just enough for the foul.
Rodriguez looking to go inside. Sutter drives, and it hits the reverse.
Purdue.
Off the screen, Petrie. Or Terry, beg your pardon. Smooth looking jumper.
Three-pointer right down the chute there for Madison Layden.
And it's up strong.
Gordon lost the handle. Turnover, Florida State, 3-on-1, Purdue. Petrie off the glass.
Ooh.
Can't connect on the pass. Terry, Layden, got it. Another Purdue triple.
Listening to the Katie Gearlds Show on 95.3 Bob FM.
It's time for this week's game plan presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, home of the official credit union for Purdue fans. Learn more about their products and services at purduefed.com. 2 games coming up. The ACC Big Ten Challenge, Purdue taking on Syracuse. Syracuse coached by Felicia Leggett-Jack, who used to be at Indiana, then went to Buffalo, and brought a couple of her Buffalo players to Syracuse, including Daisha Fair, who got hurt in the game here at Mackey Arena a couple of years ago, and Cheyenne McEvans, and those are 2 players you're going to have to watch for Wednesday.
Yeah, I think Cheyenne she's played in the last 3. She only played in 10 games last year for Buffalo, got injured, but I think starting to find a rhythm. I think her freshman year when Buffalo came in here, she scored 15 when we pulled it up, and yeah, you talk about Fair, who can just flat out score the basketball. That kid can get it going. So we'll see if we can put a game plan together. We went pretty easy today, long day traveling. So watched some film and did some things on the court. But tomorrow we'll put a little bit more detailed game plan and see what happens on Wednesday.
And both the men and women have a situation now where they play a couple of conference games in December, one on the road, one at home. Your road game is coming up on Monday night at Michigan State. And another transfer that we've seen before, Kamaria McDaniel, played at Penn State, transferred to Baylor, now playing at Michigan State, and she's their leading scorer, and they're 6-2 on the season.
Yeah, and they're scoring the basketball. It's a couple rough ones over the weekend, but a really good ball club. Obviously, Susie does a great job with her team, and we were fortunate to steal one when we went up to East Lansing last year, but they're the ones that kind of ended our regular season last year. So, we'll get through Syracuse and find what we can do and see how we can attack the Spartans next Monday.
What do you like, and what did you find out about this basketball team before you went to Cancun? Did you learn anything about them in these last few days?
Honestly, I thought our maturity was actually really, really impressive, how we were able to in a short amount of time, put some game plans together. I think Jalen kind of said it. The terminology and the communication is really getting better. We're able to change some things on the fly. I think late in the fourth quarter against Oklahoma State, we started doing things differently defensively, and it kind of helped in just our ability to understand what we were looking for and why it was going to be successful for us and kind of put that out there. But I thought that the maturity, obviously, we're still growing as a basketball club, as a program, and we're a long way from getting Purdue back to where we want it to go. But this group is committed to making sure that they put everything out there for maybe it being this team.
Well, it's nice to go on the road and play, but it's even nicer to click your heels and come home. So let's get a big crowd on Wednesday night to watch this team play. Good luck against the Orange.
All right, thanks, Tim.
All right, the Boilermakers against the Syracuse Orange on Wednesday night. We'll have that one starting for you at 5:45, 6 o'clock tip at Mackey Arena. And then the Boilermakers traveling to Michigan State a week from tonight. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip, so I'll have the broadcast from the Breslin Center at 6:45. Thanks to our on-site engineer, Wes Scott, and our producer, Roger Forsyth. Our video producer is Hunter Massengill. Again, we won't be here next Monday night because of the basketball game, so come back here to walk-ons next Tuesday night. We'll have the Matt Painter Show at 6:05, and then the Katie Gearlds Show starting at 7:10. For Katie and for Jalen Nice, I'm Tim Newton. We'll see you at Mackey Arena on Wednesday night when the Boilermakers take on Syracuse. Good night, everybody.
On the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.